Hi everyone, my topic is all about goods and service design. So which is you can look at into learning packet number 5. So what is goods and service design? So design of goods and services is a key to organizational survival and success. Having a good design can all the activities being connected with introducing a new good to the market. Service designed all activities connected with the introducing series to the market and interconnected to the pressures, or which is the consumers. So there are a lot of service designed in different companies or steps in designing goods and services. So here I have 5 phases in service design. First is conceptualize. The second one is identify service package, components, and the third one is determine the performance of specification. The next one is translate performance specification into design specification, and the last one is translate design specification into delivery specification. So it is really important to the company that there must be steps in designing goods and services, because in order for you to provide good quality products to the consumers, it must be done into thoroughly brainstorming and what you need to do first in or other ways, so that you can your product is good, must be in trend, and has its factor to the consumers. So in order also to have a good produced product to the consumers, first companies should have this evaluation of opportunities and select what is the best idea of the product. Getting feedback to refine the product to concept. This must be the revision, editing, or whatsoever. And the next is you need to make sure that the product performs and appeals to the consumer. So you cannot have the product that is not necessary to the consumers, because nowadays, especially we are facing pandemic, you should release product, give product to the consumer which is very relevant to the situation. Next is must have the design with the manufacturing mind. Build and test the prototypes. There must be testings, thoroughly testings, in order to have this durability of the products you want to release. Next is ramp up production and run market tests. Of course, you need to have a market test. You need to have the survey in order for you to come up with a best product. And of course, you need to launch the product. So launching products, it must be innovative, and you can use online or face-to-face or whatsoever. Moving on to the other topic. So this lesson includes the service delivery system design. So what is service delivery system design? It included facility location and layout, the servicescape, service process and job design technology, and information support system, and organizational structure. So it is where the structure of the service facility location is, or ito yung tinatawag na yung store as physical store, yung mga, nandito yung mga support system mo, ano yung process or pag mag-deliver ng mga product mo. For example, yung mga nasa online, may ano talaga yan, may store yan na nilalagyan ng mga product, which is doon kukunin ng mga rider para ma-deliver sa mga consumers or customers. Servicescape. So, the servicescape is all about the physical evidence as a customers might use to form an impression. The servicescape also provides the behavior setting where service encounters take place. So, servicescape, for my understanding, ito yung halimbawa, real estate, ito yung parang showroom nila na makikita ng isang customers na ito pala yung bahay na binibenta nila, para magkaroon talaga siya ng physical or a personal impression sa kanya, sa isang product or isang bahay na kanyang bibilhin ba. Service encounter design. So, it focuses on the interaction directly or indirectly between the service providers and the customer. So, for my understanding also, ito yung nagpo-focus lang sa direct, yung direct kung ako nagpo-purchase ako ng isang product, may direct contact ako sa nagbebenta. Tapos, pwede rin siya indirect, yung using online to the customers, using chats and yan. So, to sum up with this lesson, goods and service design ensures that the product and the service is developed for users and a group of purchasing customers. Service design ensures that delivery of value to the customers and customers to customers. Service design also looks at service development for customers and prospectives. So, mahalaga talaga kung ikaw ay nasa isang kampanya or nasa isang kahit anong business mo is ma-provide mo yung quality ng isang product, which is not just only by the product but also by the services. Kasi isa rin kasi yung services or service ng business mo na tinitingnan ng factor ng isang customer. So, pag good yung services mo, may chance na malaki yung chance na babalik at babalik yung customers mo. Kahit na hindi gaanong ka-quality yung yung product mo, parang pero pag hindi good yung services mo at hindi pa good yung product mo, asahan mo talaga na hindi na babalik yung customer. So, it is really important that all or mass company should have a good and services designed system in order to produce a good product and in order to keep the customers' loyalties in these businesses or nowadays. So that's all. Thank you.
Let us now proceed to the learning packet 6, which is process selection and facility layout and work design. First, let us define what is process selection and facility layout and work design. Process selection refers to deciding on a way production of goods or services will be organized in the business operations, wherein a good process selection helps to enhance customers' experience and also helps the business to achieve its goals. While facility layout and work design, it is an important component of the overall business operations in both terms, maximizing the effectiveness of the production process and meeting the needs of the employees. The basic objective of facility layout and work design is to ensure a smooth flow of work, materials, and information through a system. There are 4 types of processes used to produce goods and services. First is projects. Projects are a large-scale, customized initiatives that consists of many smaller tasks and activities that must be coordinated and completed to finish on time and within budget. Examples are dams, bridges, weddings, and custom jewelry. Some of the characteristics of this process are one-of-a-kind, large-scale complex, and materials brought to the site. Next is the job shop processes, are organized around particular types of general purpose equipment that are flexible and capable of customizing work for individual customers. Examples are shoes, Lego services, and machine tools. Some of the characteristics of this process are customized design to customers, batching, low to moderate volume, and many different products. Next is the flow shop processes are organized around fixed sequence of activities and process steps such as an assembly line to produce limited variety of similar goods or services. Examples are cafeterias and insurance policies. Some of the characteristics of this process are similar sequence to process steps and moderate to high volume. Last is the continuous flow processes. Create highly standardized goods or services, usually around the clock in very high volumes. Examples are gasolines, paints, chemicals, and automated car wash. Some characteristics of this process are very high volumes in fixed processing sequence, not made from discrete parts, and 24/7 continuous operations. Types of process design. First is task, a specific unit of work required to create an output. Second is activity, is a group of tasks needed to create and deliver an intermediate or final output. Third is process, consists of a group of activities. Fourth is the value chain. It is a network of processes. There are four types of facility layout. First is the product layout. Product layout is an arrangement based on the sequence of operations that is performed during the manufacturing of a good or delivery of a service. Exhibit 8.1 is an example of product layout for wine manufacturer, wherein there is a sequence of operations that is performed during the manufacturing of the product, which is the wine, and to the delivery of the service, wherein products goes to mixing, aging, bottling, capping, packaging, and then shipping. Next is the process layout. Process layout consists of a functional grouping of equipment or activities that do similar work. Exhibit 8.2 is an example of a process layout for a machine shop, wherein the part 1 is drilling, grinding, sanding, milling, and assembly of the product, while the part 2 is the drilling, milling, grinding, painting, and assembly of the product. Third is the cellular layout. Cellular layout is the design is not according to the functional characteristics of equipment, but rather by self-contained groups of equipment or called cells needed for producing a particular set of goods or services. Exhibit 8.3 is an example of cellular manufacturing layout, wherein there is a U-shaped layout of the equipment. And last is the fixed position layout. Fixed position layout consolidates the resources necessary to manufacture a good or deliver a service, such as people, materials, and equipment in one physical location. Example of fixed position layout is building a house, wherein there is only one physical location and the people, materials, and equipment or the service is in one physical location.
Hi everyone! Our topic for today is all about capacity management and forecasting. And now we have our 3 learning objectives. First is to discuss the advantage of long-term capacity expansion, capacity, and the short-term capacity adjustment. The second one is the advantage-based forecasting method utilizing single movement, average, and exponential smoothing. Compute the MAD, the MSE, and the MAPE. The last one is to explain the significance and application of forecasting to actual business operation. So now, let's talk about the capacity and the capacity expansion. So when we say capacity, it is the quantity of number, people, or things will hold totally. While the capacity expansion, it is all about the strategic decision to access the elements and the cost, and no overcapacity will create the business. And now we are going to talk about the advantage and disadvantages. So first advantage is all about the change of labor in skills mix. So when we say the change of labor, it is all about the hiring people who learns and quickly adjust to changing job requirements, and also from the cross trainings for them to perform a different task provides flexibility. For example, in the food chain, some food servers usually become cashiers during busy periods to assist in receiving customer orders. So in add or share equipment, it is good to purchase a new or rented equipment in order to add the convenience to do the business operation wherein it can increase the productivity. For example, in catering services, the food businesses can rent some equipment like extra tables or chairs if they are catered a big event. So now, the disadvantages in changing labor skill mix. So here, there might be a tendency that the worker, especially during busy hour, might make mistake in his or her work. For example, the employee is cook at the same time a cashier. So during busy hours, the cook might burn the food or it might be taste good, but he is very busy cooking at the same time doing the task as a cashier. So in add and share equipment, there might be a tendency that the rented equipment is no longer in a good condition, or the new equipment is so costly. So that can be affect the business operation that the businesses did not see in the coming, wherein they thought that there is a quick return in their investment. So now let's talk about the theory. This theory is all about the constraint and its relationship to capacity management. So the theory of constraint outlines the principle of the organization will assure to boost the entire procedure and raise the utilization through work activities and workstations. So the theory of constraint is introduced by Dr. Eli Hayot and a Goldrat. EOS's concept and philosophy recognize the needs of demand and capacity management. The throughout will be viewed by the EOC, which measure the amount of money and time created for actual sales. The purpose of some businesses is to enhance throughput and also the cash flow. The theory of constraint will emphasize the importance of complexity, will provide the best solution for capacity management in order of dealing with and understanding. Only a few constraints will be addressed to measure and manage capacity. As many resources were confined by capacity, as a result, the procedure will be adequate if they simply fill it to the capacity of capacity-constrained resources. So work is released a buffer period before the capacity-constrained resources is appointed in a buffer period after the capacity capacity-constrained resources is appointed to provide a time of delivery and to protect the system from performance uncertainty. And now, let's talk about forecasting and demand planning. So when we say forecasting, it is the process of projecting the values of one or more valuable in the future. So the good forecasts are needed in all organizations to drive analysis and decision to related to operations. So forecasting is it forecasting is it is a component in many kinds of integrated operating systems such as supply chain management, customer relation management, and the revenue management system. So the organization make many different types of forecast. It is considered a consumer products company such as a Procter and Gamble that make any demand planning and supply chain management method for anticipating or predicting product demand to ensure that the goods can be supplied and consumed or satisfied. They aim is to strike a balance between having enough inventories to satisfy customers' demand and still not have a surplus.
So hi everyone, and now we are going to calculate or we're going to discuss the forecasting moving averages. So here our objective is to calculate the moving averages and to compute the error measures. So our error measures are the MAD or the mean absolute deviation, the error squared or the mean squared error, and the MAPE or mean absolute percentage error. So here we have our period that the first month up to 7 months. So this is our sales or the actual. So to get the moving averages by here the three months, so we only have to add the 86, 95, and 110 for the first 3 months. We have to add that and divided by 3 so that we can get 97. And next is 95. From here, second, third, and fourth month, add that 3 and then divided by 3, we can get 115. So same process and same formula, so on and so forth. So here the error is we only have to find the difference between the actual and the moving averages. So the difference between 140 and 97 is 43. And the 130, the difference is 100. The difference between 130 and 115 is 15, and so on and so forth. So here the error or the mean absolute deviation. So here the 2 bar here denote as absolute value. So the absolute value of 44 is the absolute value of 43 is 43. The absolute value of 15 is 15. The absolute value of 53 is 53. The absolute value of negative 10 is positive 10. So we have to add that 4 and then we can get the 121.33 divided by 4. So that our MAD is 30. So here is the error or the mean squared error. So the 43 squared is 1,849. So the 15 squared is 225, and the 53 squared is 2,844. And the last one is the 10 squared is 100. So add that 4, we can get 5,018.84. Then divided by 4. So our MSE or the mean squared error is 1,254.22. So here, by getting the error, percentage error, or the mean absolute percentage error, is we only have to divide the error or the MAD divided by the sales here. So 43 divided by 140 and then times by 100 so that we can get 30.71. So again, another 15 divided by 130 and then times by 100% so that we can get 11.54%, so on and so forth. So same process again, add the 4 so that we can get the 79.02 and then divided by 4 we can get the MAPE or the mean absolute percentage error, which is 19.76. Okay, so hi everyone, and now we are going to calculate the forecasting exponential smoothing. So we have our objectives, calculate the forecast using exponential smoothing and also to calculate the mean squared error, the MSE, the MAD, and the MAP. And here, to calculate the exponential smoothing forecast using the alpha is equal to 0.2, and we will be using our formula, which is ft plus 1 is equal to AAT plus 1 minus alpha ft. So we have here the period, and the sales stands for as our AT, and the forecast is the ft. So here, if we will be using this one, 0.2 times 86 plus 0.08 times 86, so we can get here the 86, and same formula. So 0.2 times 95 and then plus the 0.08 times 86, so that we can get this one, the 87.80, and again 0.02 times 110 plus 0.08 times 87, we can get this 92, so on and so forth. So here the error, we only have to find the difference between the actual and the forecast. So 95 minus 86 is 9, 110 minus 86 is 22.22, so on and so forth. Here the error, we only have to find the absolute value. So absolute value of 9 is 9, 22.20 is 22. So absolute value of 47.76 is 47.76. So ganyan lang, no? Then we have to add this 6 and then we can get the 197.80 divided by 6 kasi 6 sila, 1, 2, 3 for given from second month to 7 months. So 197.80 divided by 6 so that we can get the MAD, which is 32.97. So here the error, we only have this one is 9 squared is 81, 22.20 squared is 492.84. No, then the 47.76 squared is 2281.02, so on and so forth, and then just add all the 6 and we have 9,243.22 divided by 6. So our MSE is 1,540.54. So here the error, we only have to this one, the MAD divided by the actual. So 9, the MAD 9 divided by 95 rather, and then divided by 100%, so that we can get this 9.47. So again, no, so here the 22.22 divided by 110 times 100, we can get the 2.18%, and then so on and so forth, same process lang. So add the 6, we can get the 138.68 and then divided by 6, so that our MAPE or the mean absolute percentage error is 23.112.
I will be discussing my topic is about quality. Quality describes the principle, methods, and procedures in order to ensure that goods and services are produced to the highest possible standards in order to meet the expectations of consumers. From the perspective of the operations, quality management deals with key issues relating to how goods and services are created, designed, and delivered to meet the consumer's expectation. Quality is becoming an essential part in the management of a company and other businesses as a consequence of the theory of quality as an essential feature of the manufacturing goods and services that it provides. The next is Dr. William Edwards Deming. Unlike other management gurus and consultants, Deming never defined or described quality precisely. In his last book, he stated a product or service possesses quality if it helps somebody and enjoys a good and sustainable market. The Deming philosophy focuses on bringing about improvements in product and service quality by reducing variability in goods and services, design, and associated processes. Deming professed that higher quality leads to higher productivity and lower costs, which in turn leads to improved market share and long-term competitive strength. Next is Philip B. Crosby. Philip B. Crosby authored several popular books. His first book, Quality is Free, sold about 1 million copies and was greatly responsible for bringing quality to the attention of top corporate managers in the US. The essence of Crosby's quality philosophy is embodied in what he calls the absolutes of quality management and the basic elements of improvements. Crosby's absolutes of quality management include the following points. First, quality means conformance to requirements, not elegance. Requirements must be clearly stated so that they cannot be understood. Second, there's no such thing as a quality problem. Problems are functional in nature. Thus, a firm may experience accounting problems, manufacturing problems, design problems, front desk problems, and so on. Third, there's no such thing as the economics of quality. Doing job right the first time is cheaper. Quality is free. What costs money are all actions that involve not doing job right the first time. Fourth, the only performance measurement is the cost of quality, which is the expense of non-conformance. Quality cost data are useful to call problems to management's attention, to select opportunities for corrective actions, and to track quality improvement over time. And last, the only performance standard is zero defects. This simply represents the philosophy of preventing defects in goods and services rather than finding them after the fact and fixing them. Next is Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a business improvement approach that seeks to find and eliminate causes of defects and errors in manufacturing and service processes by focusing on outputs that are critical to customers and results in a clear financial return for the organizations. The term Six Sigma is based on a statistical measure that equates to at most 3.4 errors or defects per million opportunities. An ultimate stretch goal of all organizations that adopt a Six Sigma philosophy is to have all processes, regardless of functional area, at a Six Sigma level of capability, a level of near zero defects. The next is cost of quality. Cost of quality is a method for calculating the costs companies incur ensuring that products meet quality standards, as well as the costs of producing goods that fail to meet quality standards. Cost of quality can be organized into four major categories, which is prevention costs, appraisal costs, internal failure costs, and external failure costs. Prevention costs are incurred to prevent or avoid quality problems. These costs are associated with the design, implementation, and maintenance of the quality management system. Appraisal costs are expenses related to quality control that a company incurs to ensure its products and services of its customers, the company, and regulatory requirement. Internal failure costs are those costs of quality associated with product failures that are discovered before a product leaves the factory. These failures are discovered through the firm's internal inspection processes. External failure costs are costs that are caused by deficiencies found after delivery of products and services to external customers, which leads to customer dissatisfaction.